Good morning and welcome to a quick good morning stretch. The only prop we'll really kind of need for today's practice is a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can grab a belt. But that's really it. Otherwise, we're going to be pretty much on the ground. So, a yoga mat if you have something, even a towel or a blanket just to lie down on. And we'll get started right away. So we're going to start just lying down in Shavasana. Start where we end, I guess, right? So letting your legs flap out to the side. Toes are just going to, feet are going to just flap out to the side. Arms alongside your body, palms upright. Just facing the sky. Just start here with what your normal breath is. Don't make any changes to the breath. Just see where you're at. See where you're starting. And then start to very slowly deepen your breath. Taking a nice deep inhale. And slowly exhaling through the nostrils. And one more deep inhale. And slow exhale. And just trying to make your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales. And then on your next inhale, reaching your arms up alongside your ears, pressing away with your fingertips, pushing away with your toes, just pointing your feet. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, just relax your arms. Still pointing up alongside your ears, but just, let them drop as you exhale. And just release the stretch at that point too. And then on your next inhale, again, just kind of pulling your body in opposite directions. And then exhale, release. And then inhale one more time, reaching, toes to the bottom of your mat, fingertips to the opposite edge of the room. And then as you exhale this time, pull your knees in towards your chest and just holding your shins with your hands, rock side to side. Starting with a gentle massage. And then when you're ready, release your left leg down towards the mat. You can either leave it bent and your foot flat on the floor or just reach it out straight. And holding on with both hands to your right shin, start to circle your ankle in one direction. I'll tell you when we can switch to the other direction. And just noticing your breath, maybe using a little bit of that Ujjayi breathing, which is when you're kind of constricting the back of your throat. And you kind of have that Darth Vader breath. Both sounds on the inhale and exhale, and let's reverse the circle of your ankle. Nice deep breaths, just getting into the cracks that you're feeling in your ankle right now. And then let that circle go. And I'm going to just take my right hand on top of my right knee, and my left hand, I'm just going to place it down on top of my left hip just to kind of keep that hip down as we move the right leg in circles. So I'm just going to press the knee out to the side, pushing it down towards the bottom of the mat, pulling it back in towards the center and up back towards my belly and out to the right, pushing it away from me in towards the center, up to the belly. So just going through some hip circles while keeping that left hip down onto the mat. And maybe reversing the hip circles. You can go pretty slowly here. You kind of want to feel what you feel. So sometimes if you go too fast when you're when you're moving through the hip joints, it just doesn't do it, you know. You kind of gotta take it slow. And sometimes when you get to a spot that's like, you know, then you maybe even want to take it a little bit slower, or a little bit more back and forth in that spot. And then you can release the circles and grab your strap. And take that strap and place it over the ball mound of your right foot and press your heel up towards the sky. So I have one end of each end of the strap in each hand. And you can have your knee bent. In fact, actually, let's do that a little bit. Let's bend the knee and straighten it. And bend and straighten. And each time you're doing this, I just want you to also think about, like, we're not pointing the toe here. We're kind of just, we're pressing the heel away from the body. So you're really getting a nice stretch along the entire back of your thigh and calf, for that matter. And the next time you press up, kind of hold it up. And take a nice deep inhale, sending that breath through the back of the leg. And then taking both ends of the strap into your right hand. And I'm going to bring my left arm out into a T along my left side. And then let's let that right leg drop out to the right side. And maybe even if you want to try to making sure for a moment that your left hip is pressed down into the mat. So maybe you do want to keep that left hand onto your left hip. See whatever feels right. So basically we're getting just another area of the thigh stretched out here, maybe a little bit more on the inner thigh, and still pressing the heel away from you, kind of starting to maybe even point the toes toward you, or maybe even towards the floor. So kind of rotating that entire thigh from the hip down towards the floor. And then bringing that back up through center, taking both ends of the strap into your left hand, your right arm out to a T. And we're going to let the right hip come off the mat as you cross the right foot over your left side. So you're kind of going to just stack your right hip over your left and letting your right arm just go out to the side, maybe looking over your right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Inhaling, coming back up through center. Let's release the strap and take both legs out long. And just notice what you notice here. Maybe your right leg feels longer than your left leg. It's probably not, but it certainly does feel that way. Let's bring our left knee into our chest. And again, you can leave your right leg out long or bend it foot flat on the floor, and just starting your ankle circles. Just circling around nice and slowly, pointing your toes, flexing your toes, flexing your foot. Just kind of feeling all the crackly bits. Maybe bringing yourself back to that Ujjayi breath. And circling in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, dropping your right hand onto your right hip just to keep it in place, and left hand over left knee. Start to bring your left knee out to the side. And pushing it away from you in towards the center, and then back up to your belly and out to the side. And push it away in towards the center and to your belly. Just nice, very gentle, very slow hip circles. And you kind of want to move with your breath. So maybe your breath is one circle around. Just one deep inhale, and then the next exhale is the next circle around. Maybe your breath is half a circle inhale while you bring it out and away, and then inhale when you bring it back or to center, exhale when you bring it back to center and up. And then let's start to circle in the opposite direction. Inhale, and then exhale out and back to center. Inhaling, pushing it away and out, and exhaling back through center. And one more circle around, and then we'll grab our strap again, wrapping the strap around the ball mound of that left foot, one end of the strap in each hand. And then let's move kind of like pulsing up and down. So bending your knee and straighten, bend your knee and straighten, bend. And let's do that a couple of more times just to get some blood pumping through your legs. And then when you're ready, bring that to stillness. Press away with your heel, feeling the action of maybe even like bringing your toes towards your shins, which is probably not going to happen, but just the action of the pressing of the heel away and pointing your toes towards your face, let's say. And then let's take both ends of the strap into your left hand. Your right arm can be out in a T, or placing it on your right hip just to keep your right hip pinned down to the mat, and let that left leg fall out to the side, however far it falls. So, but once your right hip starts to come off the ground, that's as far as your left leg is going out to the side. So you want to make sure that you're pinning down that right hip. And just taking a few breaths here. Again, press the heel away. Maybe externally rotate your entire leg so that your toes are pointing towards the ground a little bit more. Getting the stretch a little bit deeper into that inner thigh. And then on your next exhale, coming back up through center, switch the hands that are holding the strap. Left arm out into a T, and then your right hip coming out over your left hip. Press your heel away. And breathe. So now we're, trying to hit all the points, maybe even looking out again over your left shoulder, but we're trying to hit all the points of the stretching of the thigh. So with our foot up, we were stretching the back of the thigh out to the outer side. We were stretching the inner thigh. And now that we're crossing over, we're getting to that outer thigh. So on your next inhale, come back up through center. Release the strap. And then legs out long again, arms along your side, just for a couple of breaths. We will need that strap again in a little while, so just keep it handy. And let's take our whole body and just scooch it over to the left side of the mat. And then I'm going to lift up both legs, or really one at a time, taking one foot at a time over to the right side of the mat. And then lifting up just my shoulders, my torso towards the left side of the mat, reaching my arms up alongside my ears. And I'm going to grab my left hand with my right and then let the arms drop. So we're in this banana pose, and we'll just be here for about 5 breaths, and then we'll do the other side. So in here, if you want to focus on your Ujjayi breath, just constricting the back of the throat again. And we're going to take nice, slow, deep breaths. And one more breath on this side. And then slowly releasing the clasp of your hands. I'm going to bring my left arm down to the side while I slowly bring my torso back over to the left side. One leg at a time, coming over to the left. And then let's scoot your butt and scoot your whole body over to the right side of the mat. And one leg at a time, placing your foot to the left side, right foot to the left side. Bringing the top, just really like the top of your shoulders, your head over to the left. And grab your right hand with your left hand, just clasping that, holding it. And relax your arms down. And again, another 5 breaths here. And if you want to bring that Ujjayi breath, it's just a very calming, helps you focus, getting ready for the day. This is such a great stretch. Just you kind of feel it from the ankle all the way up through the pinky. And then coming back through center, just bringing my right arm back, slowly moving my body back to the center of the mat, arms alongside, legs out long. Shavasana for a breath or two. This is not the end. And then let's bend your knees and slowly roll over to your side and press yourself up to a seated position. And we're just going to start with some foot stretches that I love to take. You may love them, you may hate them, you may grow to love them. So I'm going to sit on my shins, and first I'm going to start with my toes pointed out behind me and sit my heels back, or sit my butt back onto my heels. And then we're going to move back and forth. So I'm going to bring my butt up. So I'm bringing my whole body upright, tuck my toes underneath, and then sit back down onto my toes. And then come back up, point your toes, sit back down onto your heels. Coming upright, tuck your toes, sit back onto your heels. And we'll do a couple more rounds of this moving, just to kind of warm up that stretch in the foot. And the next time that we come back up to toes tucked, we are going to sit there for a couple of breaths. And if this is too much, come out of it 100%. This is not the most comfortable position. It's one of the most uncomfortable positions. So we're just going to try to stay here for a couple of breaths, comfortably uncomfortable. Toes are tucked. Try to make sure that all of your toes are kind of coming out. Sometimes my pinkies get stuck and I have to pull them out from underneath. Trying to keep my ankles as close together as possible. And if you can stay here for one more breath, if you cannot, come out of it. It's, like I said, this is one of the most uncomfortable positions, but it's so, so good for your feet. Okay. And then let's come out of that and swing your feet around. Actually, I'm going to face this way. So your feet are facing forward, legs out long in front of you. Take a inhale, reach your arms up, and then slowly fold forward over your legs. So your knees can be bent here if you wanted to try to grab the bottoms of your feet. And if you can, press your legs towards straight. If not, this is just as good a stretch with your knees bent into your chest. And just try to keep your spine long without like crouching over into it. Keep your spine long, so it may not be a big fold. And then releasing your hands, just sliding your hands up your legs. And come to sit upright, legs out in front. Okay, so we're gonna do cow face pose. So I'm gonna take my right leg and bend it under so that my heel is kind of hitting my butt and my knee is pointing out in front of me. And then take my left leg and cross it over. So my knees are somewhat in line with each other, and they may or may not be. You know, your cow face pose may be a little bit wider. Either your feet are wider, your knees are wider, but this is where we're starting out here. So, and this is a huge stretch right now so the leg that's on top, I'm getting like a huge stretch in my outer left hip right now. So the next thing I'm going to do, this is where my strap comes in, is we're going to do cow-faced arm position as well. So with my left knee on top, I'm going to start just by taking a deep breath in, reaching both arms up overhead. Let me grab the strap with that arm overhead as I bonk myself in the head with the strap thing. And then on my exhale, I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to reach it behind my back. So bending my elbow, reaching that left hand behind my back, and I'm going to take a piece of that strap. And so my right hand has it, and let me just quickly turn around and show you where I have this here. So right hand up top, and my elbow is bent and coming down from the top of my back, and left hand on bottom, and that's my arm position in the back. And you may not need a strap. I need a strap, especially on this side. I find that one side is definitely more flexible or whatever than the other, and on this side I just don't have it in me to not use a strap. So just taking one more deep breath in here. Chest out broad, just breathe into your chest, into your ribs, into your belly. And then exhale, leaving your lower body in this same cross-legged position. Reach both arms up. Turn your torso over to the left, dropping one hand on the knee and your left hand behind you. Just for a gentle twist, take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale, coming back up through center, and then we'll just counter twist. So dropping your right hand behind you. Deep breath in and exhale. And then come back up through center. Let's place both legs out in front of you again. Do one more seated forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Deep breath in and exhale. And then let's do the other side. So the opposite leg, now I'm sitting on my strap, I gotta move that. Bending my left leg underneath and my right leg on top. So both knees are in a bent position. Both heels are coming towards your butt. And just kind of feel this for a minute. Feel where you feel the stretch now on the opposite side. And let's grab the strap again. Taking both arms up overhead. And then this time your right arm is going to come down, bending the elbow, coming bringing that left fingertips up your back, and then your right arm is going to bend behind your head and bringing your fingertips down your back. So on this side, I'm still going to use the strap, but my fingertips can definitely come closer to touching when I'm doing this side. Just taking nice deep breaths and feel where you feel. Deep breath in and exhale. And then when you're ready, releasing the strap, releasing your arms out to the side. Take a deep breath in. Turn your torso to the right, dropping your right hand behind you, and just taking a gentle twist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back through center. And then exhale, counter twist, open twist to the left. And then come back to center. And then we're going to lie back down on our backs. And bringing your knees together, feet together, let your knees drop out to the side and the soles of your feet pressing together. Arms reach down along your side. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. And just let the weight of your legs hang. And if hanging is uncomfortable for you, maybe take a couple blankets and stuff them beneath your thighs just to kind of relax that a little bit. Maybe you return to your Ujjayi breath. And you can either stay here, you can stretch your legs out long and stay in Shavasana for a little while. But if you're ready to come out from the Baddha Konasana position, just taking your hands to the outside of your thighs and just closing your legs back together. Rolling over onto your right side, resting your head into the cradling of your right arm and pressing into your left palm, coming up to a gentle seat. And let's take a couple of breaths together. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, palms to heart center. One more time, reaching up overhead. Exhale, palms to heart center. Okay, thank you for joining me today for this gentle morning stretch. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.